Hey everyone, welcome to Biz of Show. This episode is all about Instagram and how I got 60,000 followers on Instagram in 1 year. You know, I keep getting a lot of people going, how do you do this? Because I have everyone from performers to agents and managers, and literally they tell me that nowadays you can't even get into some auditions if you don't have more than 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 Instagram followers, which is, really sucks. But the bottom line is that Instagram has become such a huge platform for advertising that people are hiring people who know, like, hey, if we have them, they're an influencer on Instagram and they're going to get eyes on our project. So that's why that's happening. I also talked to an agent who told me that two of her clients were up for the same job, and one had 80,000 followers on Instagram and the other one had 100,000 followers on Instagram. And the one who got it was the one who had 100,000 followers on Instagram, because that's what mattered. And that's literally the reason, the final decision on that. And so it's very frustrating. I am sure that a lot of you are in the same boat. And Instagram, basically, I was telling someone the other day, it's kind of like your storefront in a mall. Like, it's how you're able to communicate with people who you are. So today we're going to dive really deep into Instagram and all the tips and tricks that I've learned from my wonderful friend, James Sutton from Krenz Marketing. And I'm really excited because when he's not creating stunning convertible websites for people, he's blowing up people's Instagram. And I think somewhere more than like 1 million followers in the past several months that a year and a half that they've been doing this. So he's here today to break it down with me, so you can learn all of our tips and tricks. Make sure that you guys, if you're interested in the content of today's show, make sure you check out the show notes. They're going to be at bizofshow.co/Instagram. We have all sorts of links and stuff that's going to be able to help you, apps that'll help you, and also a special link to a special deal that he's going to give you guys that really is amazing. So let's jump right in. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoy the interview. All right, everybody, so I'm here with James Sutton, who's my buddy who runs Krenz Marketing. I'm really excited for you guys to meet him. James, can you do me a favor and give me a really quick breakdown on what Krenz does, and because there's a lot of things that you guys do. Can you break it down exactly what you guys do?
Yeah, actually, it is a lot. We're pretty much a one-stop shop for anything that's online and presence building and growing and promoting your brand. So web design, social media marketing, SEO, content development, video advertisement, conversion rate optimization, and even software development is what we do at Krenz Marketing.
That's a lot. How do you handle all of that?
You know what? We've got a really big team. We started small in web design and kind of just organically grew and added on to our services every layer until we really became a facilitator that could grow a business from start to finish, from idea to a very big online growth model.
Wow, that's amazing. So, okay, so one of the things that you specialize in, how you and I have worked together with, is Instagram. You guys have been running my Instagram for a year now, and I've gotten amazing followers on that, and it's been growing immensely. But there are like 6 things that you've taught me initially that I need to do on my own to manage my account. Can you walk me through each of these? The first one is the follow back campaign. Now, this is something that is kind of the core thing of what you guys offer. So why don't you walk me through what a follow back campaign is?
Yeah, actually, it's the number one most organic and authentic way to grow your brand internally on Instagram. So pretty much what it is, it's a strategy where you can identify your demographic and the pools of people that you would like to be engaging with you and becoming fans of your brand. You can identify them by finding influencers that have already succeeded at building that brand that you'd like to be like. And what we're doing essentially is we're going directly to their followers and we're following and engaging with those profiles, which actually turns the table. It makes them see a notification. They come back to your profile, and then they decide if they want to follow you back and start engaging with your profile as well.
Okay, got you. Now, you mentioned influencers. We'll dive into that a little bit later. But the one thing that I've noticed is a lot of people will say to me, I'll do a follow back campaign like on my own, but I end up getting blocked. So how many people can you follow before you get blocked?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually.
And why does Instagram block you? Sorry to jump in, but why do they block you?
Yeah, well, Instagram is always trying to make their platform as authentic and organic as possible. So they actually want to prevent any kind of people that are trying to take advantage of their program. So the reason why they block you, and it's actually just a temporary suspension, is because they have a limit of people you can engage with per hour. Right. So that's their way of actually setting this this benchmark where they're like, anybody that's doing over this really probably is trying to misuse our platform. So the limit is about 100 people per hour you can follow and engage with. Likes is more of like a daily rate. You can sometimes even get up to like 1,500, 2,000 likes a day.
And by like, you mean like going and liking other people's photos?
Exactly, yes.
Got it. Now, tell me this really quickly. Why, like you said, you can like 100 people an hour. I have gotten 60,000 followers in 1 year doing a follow back campaign. Why have I never been blocked?
Well, it's simple because we understand the limitations that Instagram has placed. Actually, we spent over a year of research and development to understand exactly what those limitations were and how close we could ride next to those and still have a consistent growth up and up and up every day.
So it kind of operates more like a human than a computer.
Way more. Yeah, actually, all the engagement we do, Instagram sees nothing but a human going on and engaging with people, following and interacting with the space that they provided.
Okay, so let's go back to the core of the follow back campaign, and that is finding the correct influencers. And from what I understand you're saying is that we go like to those influencers and then we do our follow back campaign on those people, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So like, give me a demographic or an industry so that we can give like a tangible example here.
Okay. So why don't we do like motivational speakers, because we're always seeing motivational speakers all over the industry right now, all over Facebook, all over Instagram.
Perfect. And that's actually right up my alley because my brand is actually very motivational and inspirational. So that's something that I actually used and dove into to begin with. Just to hit it right off the top, I mean, to find influencers of motivation and inspiration. You've got Gary Vee, you've got Tony Robbins. And
Mind Valley.
Absolutely, yeah. Pretty much anybody that's promoting this kind of essence, this kind of message, those people have millions, sometimes hundreds of thousands of followers, and it's really, really easy. You find these influencers, you go to their profiles, and you have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of potential fans that are already subscribing to motivation and inspiration content.
So essentially, it would make sense then that someone needs to find one person that has all of that, like one.
Yes and no. I mean, you can definitely go find one and go through that. But in our experience, you really got to test the waters because certain profiles and certain influencers have completely different styles of followers, right? There's high engaging followers and then there's just followers that are following because they're on the bandwagon. So there's definitely different qualities of pools of people that you can engage with. And you'll know right away, you're spending hours on the phone following and engaging with other people. You'll see how many people are going to engage back with you based on that work that you did that day. Then you can change influencers and you can target other people and see if you got better results from that.
Amazing. So let's see. So essentially, the core of the follow back campaign is your influencers. So find your core influencers. How many should we say? Like 5?
Yeah, that's a good number to start with. Absolutely.
Start with find 5 influencers, and they need to be people because you want to build your audience. So it's got to be the right kind of people. So, for instance, if you're a performer, if you're an actor, right, then you probably don't want to go for like following a celebrity because that's someone who's got a fan base and you're kind of trying to tap into their fan base when you don't really have a reason for people to like your fan base. But you might want to go for other things like, talent agencies or managers or, start building a community of people that are within your industry, choreographers if you're a dancer, Broadway performers if you're a Broadway performer, all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and even better, like local influencers, right? If you're in Los Angeles, the best kind of influencer you can target is someone that has like in between 30,000 and maybe 300,000 followers that is a Los Angeles local that is succeeding in your industry, in your line of work. That would be a great influencer. Yeah.
That's really good. So the next step is hashtag research and using the right hashtags and do a focused attack to get more eyes on your content. So explain to me how, like, everybody just is so, like, everybody, we all use hashtags, but everybody's sick of like trying to find out like how to get more followers using a hashtag. And a lot of people don't get it.
Yeah. You know what? There's actually a kind of hidden hush-hush algorithm about hashtags and how you can use them to actually get people to see your content. You know, let's just use a hashtag, for example, a couple of them, right? One of the most popular hashtags in Instagram is the word love, right? So if you put a hashtag on your photo with LOVE, you actually go right into the list of images that have had that hashtag, right? And only the top 9 are staying at the top. Those are the popular posts. Everybody else gets put to the bottom in sequential order of newest to oldest. There's about 1,000 images every 5 to 10 minutes getting posted with that hashtag. And to be able to rank, and it's incredible. To be able to rank in the top 9 for that hashtag, you've literally got to get tens of thousands of likes or views within the first 10 to 20 minutes of posting that image for it to qualify to rank in that top position. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're not absolutely one of the top 1% engagement users on Instagram and you use the word love, there is nobody that is ever going to notice that image getting posted. So let's talk about something more realistic, right? What is hashtag research and why is it important? Because it's about analyzing where your engagement is right now and then finding the right hashtags that are relevant, not love, but how about, love this hamburger. There's probably like 20,000 posts or 30,000 posts in the entire history of Instagram with somebody using that hashtag, maybe a little more. I got to go do the research on that. But my point is, the algorithm that would allow you to rank in the popular section for that hashtag, you would only need a few hundred likes, a few hundred.
So in other words, people that are dropping, hashtag Madonna or hashtag Lady Gaga, it's like, why are you even bothering trying to use that to build your audience? It seems like you're using it more to be like, oh yeah, I'm using hashtags to sound cool, right? I mean, if you're going to be strategic about your hashtag research. So let's give it a number, like what, 10 to 30,000 images?
So it really all depends on your engagement. Okay, so I'll give you a rough breakdown. If you have less than 500 likes or views within the first 30 minutes of posting something, I would not target a hashtag that has over 150, maybe 200,000 posts total. And you can see that by going to your phone, typing that hashtag in, and there's a number right next to it.
Got it.
Right? Okay. That number is the total amount of posts that has ever been posted with that hashtag. So if it's under about 150, maybe even 200,000, and you have 500 levels of engagement, of likes or views and a few comments, you can probably start ranking on the top section of the popular, those popular posts for anywhere from 1 to 3 days at a time.
Got it. So like I just did some search, like we've been talking about Biz of Show, and we're starting to build that Instagram as an advertising platform. And one of the influencers that we love is something called BroadwayCon, and they have 10,930 posts.
Okay.
So if you look here, see that? Okay, so 10,930 posts. I think it might be backwards for you guys. But these guys, so if you post on one of their pictures, they have, 33 likes inside, there's not even really a top 9 because there's so many of them. So in other words, I could use BroadwayCon and my images would probably pop into BroadwayCon's top feed, right?
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, you have a good level of engagement. So 10,900 is not a lot at all. I'll give you another example, like locations, geotagging a location. Instagram, it works the exact same way as hashtags. It's the same classification of tagging. It's just a location rather than a hashtag, right? Okay. So I go to places all over here in Vegas. I'm in Vegas. This is my favorite place to go to get a smoothie, right? It's empty 2-3 days a week. So my point here is I've posted and tagged this company twice in the last 6 months. My 2 posts are still in the top 9 for this business.
Oh, wow. So you end up getting a lot more exposure with that account. Just if people ever look, oh, what's that? Got it. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So like I go around to my favorite businesses and my favorite restaurants, and I literally geotag and post because I get 1,000 to 3,000 likes or views on everything that I put up. So I'm pretty much guaranteeing myself in front of businesses by geotagging them.
Wow. So, okay, so here's what we're going to do then. I think we should put together a list for performers of top influencers and hashtags for performers. And you and I will kind of talk about this. So you guys can go directly to the show notes at bizofshow.co/Instagram. And if you scroll down we'll talk about a little bit about you'll see this video. We'll talk about what we talked about, and then there'll be some links. And you'll be able to download the PDF document that's going to have the hashtag research and Instagram research. The hashtag research and the influencer research for performers. So we'll give you like some really good influencers that are solid, that people, just starting out would be good to start hashtagging some, or following. How does that sound? Does that sound good?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So my 2 questions really quickly. Should we go after and use the same hashtags as our influencers?
Well, what do you mean by that exactly? I asked
okay, so if one of my influencers is Tony Robbins and he types in hashtag inspiration life, do I start using that hashtag too?
No, because you got to understand, if he's using that hashtag, he's either doing it whimsically, which I doubt because that's Tony Robbins, or he's doing it by the suggestion of his social media strategist to use that because it's a perfect hashtag, not only for his brand, but his level of engagement. It's all up to how much engagement you get. I've given you a starting point, right? So if you know that you have a starting point to go try to rank yourself on the top posts and it works, that's because you have enough engagement. Try a little bit more of a difficult hashtag after that. If you get up there, then you're ready to rank there. If you haven't, you don't have enough engagement to get there yet.
Got it.
It's just about taking the steps all the way up to the top.
Okay, so now let's talk about likes and comments. How do you get them? And all of that. Talk to me about your strategy. What do you think is the best strategy for getting likes and comments?
So this has always been a discussion with our program, because the thing is, Instagram is changing their algorithm, and they're changing it rapidly. So what was used, 2 months ago isn't necessarily used today across the board. There are many strategies that are like pop-up strategies because, it's a new algorithm every 2 to 6 months on Instagram for how they're displaying your feed and your people that you're following their feed and how it's all coming into the alignment of what you see. So let's just talk about what's absolutely most relevant today and what's happening today on Instagram. Is that fair?
Fair. Go for it.
Cool. So what we're dealing with right now is a mix of 2 algorithms that they're testing out. Algorithm number 1, based on who you engage with. Okay, so check this out really quick. This is a really interesting algorithm. If you follow somebody, okay, if you find somebody and you follow them and you do not like any of their images and you barely scroll through their feed, you look at maybe their first 4 or 5 rows and you leave. I'm talking you are on their profile for 5 seconds. You followed them. You didn't even open up a full image. You just followed, cool, out. You are probably never going to see that person's content on your newsfeed unless they are one of the top 10 or 15% of users on Instagram. And what I mean by top percent, I mean most followers, most engagement going on in the entire world. The reason for that is because of the second algorithm that's going on. The second algorithm is based on pure popularity. So we have popularity mixed with who you engage with. That gets displayed on your wall. So what am I saying in terms of likes and increasing your likes and your comments? You've got to earn fans, not followers. You've got to earn fans. You've got to earn people that not only follow you, but open up your images, like your images, and comment on your images, which means you've got to have extremely good content. or great messages that you are promoting on your Instagram profile. Again, because if they don't like it, your stuff, if they don't engage with your content is not going to appear on the top of their news feed. So they're going to have to scroll for 2, 4, 5 minutes before you're even a potential to come up on their news feed.
Got it. So in other words, no more using Instagram just piddly nilly willy. You need to have some good content.
Yeah. In fact, because of this strategy, I went from every third post being a video and like doing interviews of very famous like entrepreneurs and business tycoons. And now, as I'm about to show you, my most recent 9 posts, I only have one image, and it's in the middle. Every other post is a video, and it's personality, it's humor, it's really, really, really rich stuff.
It's organic. In other words, you're letting people into your life and who you are and what you do.
Absolutely, yes. And that's what earns fans. Fans is what you want.
Okay, so in this process of gaining followers and building this, do you recommend like when you go engage with someone told me once, like if you're going to comment on someone's post, it has to be more than 5 words or something in order for it to have any efficacy?
I don't find anything to suggest that is true or not true, to be honest.
Okay. And how many likes can you do on a photo before you're blocked? Is it like that hour thing or?
What do you mean by that exactly?
So like, we were talking about getting your account suspended. Can you like, if you just sit there and go like on every picture, are you going to get blocked?
There's definitely a limit per hour. It seems to be changing a lot these days. They're really trying to make it impossible for any kind of robots to abuse their system, which is I'm all for that. We want this thing to be organic, absolutely. The commenting thing, I don't worry about it too much, and the reason why is because with volume of inbound followers and inbound engagement comes volume of comments. Some of my posts right now, I have even up to 90 comments, even 100 comments on some of my posts. And I'm only in the range of, like I said, 1,000 to 3,000 likes and views per image. That's a very high comment ratio of people coming back to me. I am not spending a lot of time commenting on people's stuff. And to be real honest, I work 12, 14 hours a day. I barely have any time to reply to people's comments. I highly suggest, if you guys want to take your Instagram seriously, every single person that comments on your posts, you need to engage with those people. You need to thank them. You need to make them feel good about commenting on your stuff so that they continue to do it.
And I also think you need to ask questions to get them to respond more. So if someone says, hey, oh my God, I love this picture you took in Italy. Thanks so much. Have you been there before? Yes, I have. What cities did you go to? Do you recommend any restaurants? And just have these conversations with people.
Yes, over comments.
Continually roll your own personal, algorithm within Instagram, right?
Huge authority boost to have conversations and comment strings on your posts. Even better though than asking questions on your comments, every post you put up should have a meaningful caption with a question of what that means to the user reading. So that when they're done seeing your image or watching your video and they read your meaningful message and then they read your question, they can't help but to answer by commenting on your post.
Yes. Yeah, it automatically leads people to comment on the post.
Yes.
So, okay. So we talked about, this is kind of the core way to get more followers, right? So we talked about influencers and hashtags, doing the research. You're going to have a downloadable link to download a list of stuff for performers. And then the next thing was follow back campaign and likes and comments. So how much time should a person spend a day doing this to blow up their Instagram?
Yeah, if you guys want to blow up your Instagram, truly you need to spend almost all day. Everywhere you're going, you need to be on your phone doing the follow and follow back strategy, liking people's stuff, commenting, replying to people, even direct messaging people.
Let me just stop here.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay, yes. I don't have time for that.
I don't have time for that.
So nobody has any time for that at all. Okay, so is it really all day, or is it like if somebody spends an hour a day, or maybe an hour in the morning, an hour at night, does that help? Or is that like...
If you want to blow up your Instagram, you need to put a full-time effort into doing so. You can definitely spend an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. But, since we brought up Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins says, if you want to get, if you do good work, what kind of results do you get? And the answer is poor results, right? How do you get outstanding results? You have to do above and beyond outstanding performance to get outstanding results, right? So realistically, I promise you, because I spent years trying to succeed on Instagram. I've had my account for 6 years, okay? And 5 years of that, I couldn't reach over 500 followers. And then I figured out the strategy. And it's only been 15, 16 months, and I'm near 70,000 followers today. Wow. You have to put a full-time effort. Yeah, it's incredible. And our organization of customers, we have seriously earned well over 1 million followers between all of our customers in the last 18 months.
18 months? Wow. Okay,
yeah.
let me jump into something, because a real quick thing we need to touch on is unfollowing people. And because you taught me this, that as we go in, we can find out who is not following us back, and we can just unfollow them. And what that does is it drops our ratio of followers to unfollowers. It's like if you go look at Beyonce's account, she's got 47 bajillion million people, and then she follows one person, right? So it's that helps with your algorithm within Instagram, right?
Yes. And actually, I'm a little more aggressive these days. I unfollow pretty much everybody. And a lot of people think well, I want to keep the people that are following me. Well, then you're only ever going to have 7,500 followers, because that's the limit of how many people you can follow on your Instagram profile. So no matter what you do, you're going to have to unfollow people that are following you to continuously grow your brand. I mean, when I'm done growing my brand, I don't know when I'm going to be done. But when I am done growing my brand, when I feel I have enough followers, I'll just 100% organic from here, I will literally unfollow everybody, every single one of them. And I'll probably follow 2 or 3 or 4 profiles. And that'll be the other profiles that now I'm growing those profiles. Now I'm focused over there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the ways that we can engage is with our stories. I personally love doing stories because I feel like it allows you to get into that that personal side. So for me, my strategy for stories is to do behind the scenes photo shoots. And then after I've been doing a lot of behind the camera imagery. I've been doing a lot of if I do a shoot, I'll post 4 or 5 pictures and throw some music with it. Oh, by the way, I should say one of my favorite apps that I don't know if you know about is called Cut Story. And basically, if you have a video that's longer than 15 seconds, you import it into Cut Story on your phone, and it chops it up into 14.8 second videos.
Wow.
In an order that you're supposed them in. So I literally will take a video that's 5 minutes long. I'll cut it up and literally just sit there and go, story. Yeah, I have it on my phone. It's amazing.
What's the name of that?
It's called Cut Story. And we will put this in the show notes so you guys can go, look at you writing it down. We'll put it in the show notes so you guys will be able to find it. There we go, Cut Story. It's a great app. Shout out to Cut Story makers. So we talked about using your story. What kind of things can we use our story for? Mm-hmm. I personally use them for announcing when I have a new post, featuring content and photo shoots and behind the scenes, kind of a daily activity in my world. And then I use my account strictly for imagery and video. And that imagery and video is all of my professional work. Is that okay? Or should I be dropping personal selfies and stuff into my Instagram feed?
I have found that the more I bring my personal life and my personality and my weird tendencies and just who I am into my Instagram profile and keep it at least 1% relevant to my brand, the more people want to work with me, because I'm completely not talking about what I do and what I provide and what I push. I'm just showing who I am while I do it. And for me, that's the best way to really, truly capture opportunity from Instagram. But to answer your question specifically about the stories, you've got a great strategy. And I wouldn't change too much of that. What I would do is I think you're already working on it, making categories of your story highlights.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to say, was these story highlights. And you know what? So let me explain. Can I do this? Because I'm really excited about it. I want to explain how these story highlights work. I think this is super genius. One of the people that I would consider what I call an unknown mentor, which is someone who I learn from incessantly. Her name is Amy Porterfield. On her, let me move some things around here so you guys can see. So these are her highlighted stories, and they all have names like podcast, team, reads, and look, it even scrolls. It scrolls across. So she has all these stories. And what she does is, like, this is her podcast, which I love. So if you just click on podcast, then a saved story comes up, and she uses this to basically advertise what she's doing. And she creates all of these posts, and they always sit there. So, and I'll tell you the little secret to doing these podcasts is the dimensions are opposite of this. So this is 1920 by 1080. This is 1080 by 1920. So if you're in Photoshop, you can set up and your own stories and create things right there in Photoshop, and literally you can advertise anything. So I think that the way performers can use your highlighted stories is by, you can put your reel up there, you can put your favorite performance, your favorite behind the scenes moments, your headshots, your portfolio, whatever it is you want to do, you can put them in your highlighted reel. And then when someone like a casting director or a director or a choreographer goes and sees you and sees your work, and then they're like, oh, what are these highlighted stories that say reel, or what are these highlighted stories that say Broadway? And then all of a sudden there's a video of you performing on Broadway, right? So this is a great way, and I highly recommended it. I'm currently setting all this up for Biz of Show. And what I did was I went to themeforest.net and Creative Market, and I'm going to put these links down in the show notes as well. And I went to those places and I searched Instagram story, and they have these Photoshop and Premiere, and they also have a lot of Adobe After Effects templates that you can use. And to be really honest with you, they're not really hard to edit. I taught myself how to use After Effects by just watching videos on YouTube, and I downloaded a template and it said, click here, change the text. So I changed the text. Click here, add a picture. So I added a picture. And it's not that super hard. So I'm in the process of doing this for Biz of Show. We're going to create all sorts of highlighted stories at the top of our feed, and I think that is a fantastic way to build engagement, but also to really hone in on your audience.
Yeah, I got to say, Levi, it's been a little over a year, and you've really become an Instagram, expert at this point.
I'm trying my hardest. I think there's still a lot more to learn. Well, one of the problems that I have, and this is kind of leading us into this amazing offer that you have for us, but one of the problems that I have is my current engagement, because like you said, I don't have time to go sit and like and comment on photos all day long on my feed in order to get people to like and comment on my photos. And you've created something really cool, and I want you to explain it to us from top to bottom, because people are like, what? I want my listeners to know every single thing about what you do and how you can get likes on people's photos and how that can help their Instagram.
We have created a little bit of a program in our niche, and we work with some people that have allowed us to, set up this system where we have so many customers at this point. We have such a huge network of people that are in our organization on Instagram that we actually have this auto engagement group running. Right? And what this auto engagement group does is it actually feeds off of itself and uses the network to give you those boosted likes and those boosted views to help your brand grow, reach the popular page on hashtags and geolocations, and help your engagement continuously grow in the direction of this way, right? So how this works and what it is it's really simple. When you're on our system and you're on the engagement network, you actually get your account monitored. So when you post a new post, you actually get a notification sent to our network, and it has the entire network come back and like your photo and watch your video post that you just posted, which means in the first 10, 20, 30 minutes of you putting that post live, the most crucial point of the engagement, when you post something, you're getting the credit and you're getting your authenticity, your authority of that post put to popular pages, as long as it's in that realm of the engagement level for how dense that hashtag is you're using.
Right. So in
Yeah.
other words, when I post a photo, just to recap this,
Yeah.
when I post a photo or a video, right, then all these people in your network get a notification that says, like this photo, because it's all kind of part of this network and we're all kind of doing the same things for each other. We're building a community on our own. And even though I don't necessarily know these people or follow them, then my numbers within that first 30 minutes go up.
Yes.
So it increases my authority on Instagram. It gives me more numbers. So when strangers are looking at my posts and they see, oh, that you had 1,000 likes on this picture, or you had 2,000 likes or 3,000 likes, then you're literally like, oh, wow, okay, this makes sense. This guy's good. He's really popular. And so it kind of maybe gives you a little bit of authority from, people who are seeing your account for the first time, going back to that whole follow back campaign. So it all kind of circles. You put everything, in the bucket and it all works together.
Yeah, it's what we call in our industry instant consumer confidence, right? The ability to go, here I am, and in 1 second or less, someone goes, wow, okay.
It seems like, again, all of this stuff is very overwhelming, and there are some people, God bless them, that are killing the game completely organically. And there are some people who are like, what the crap am I doing? I'm trying and nothing's happening. And then there are some people who are like, I'm kind of scared of Instagram and I have no idea how to even do it, or I don't know what to do about this. And what I understand you're saying is that, like, if you fit into those final two, those last 2 or 3 molds, if you cannot make your Instagram grow, and sometimes your career is actually being hindered because of your Instagram numbers, that you guys provide the services that you've been offering to me that can help grow these systems. Okay, so one of the things that I'm really excited about, and the reason we're doing this is because I've been doing, like we've been talking about, I've been doing this for 1 year and I've gotten 60,000 followers, all because I've been working with Krenz Marketing. And we put together, James and I took a little, negotiating, but James and I came up with an really incredible package for performers, for Biz of Show, friends of me, friends of Candace, just our little core group of people. James, why don't you tell people what that is?
Yeah, the offering is usually $97 a month, and we're actually going to blow it away for this network. For only $35, you're going to get a guaranteed minimum 1,000 followers, organic, targeted to your profile from the influencers of your choice. There's a couple other options which you can choose from, but we have 3 packages: a guarantee of 1,000, a guarantee of 2,000, and a guarantee of 3,000, with all kinds of different benefits depending on which one you move forward with.
That is really awesome, don't you guys think? And what are people going to do when they start to get these followers? Like, who are they going to see, and what are they going to do to make this effective for them?
You know what? You really just got to follow. We've gone over a lot of tips and tricks in this kind of interview right now, and I can't tell you how valuable the information that we just disclosed with you is about following a simple step-by-step strategy of not only gaining followers, right, on our service, but also making those followers your fans. You've got to make them your fans, which means creating high-quality content, asking engaging questions, replying to comments, creating conversations on comment strings, and really just bringing your personality and who you are out on video and on your images on your profile.
Okay, so in addition to the hashtags for performers, I'm also going to drop a checklist of what you need to do on a daily basis in order to engage with your new found subscribers. It'll for your new 1,000 subscribers per month, and the things that you can do and what type of content you can do, and you'll be able to download all of this at bizofshow.co/Instagram. And you can only get, here's the deal, there is a secret link to get that pricing. How much do you charge for that, for your this package?
We usually charge $97 for that basic package. Yeah.
So you're saving more than 50%. It's $35 a month. I think if you cut out, a handful of coffees a month, you can handle building your business and building your social media and really advertising platform. And I'll just say this on a quick side note. I was talking to someone who's a big business owner, and I said, listen, you got to think of your Instagram as your storefront. And so putting $35 a month into your storefront, so when people go, they're seeing you, they're getting a dive into your life, they're seeing your work. I think it's completely invaluable. So there will be a link right there on bizofshow.co/Instagram. You can go down and you can click that link, but that is the only way that you're going to get this pricing is by clicking that link. So thank you so much, James, for joining me today and for this really amazing and incredible offer for mine and Candace's friends and our community. We're really appreciative and thankful, and thank you for all of your wisdom. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Levi. We appreciate you just the same.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye, buddy.
Of course.
Thanks again for watching Biz of Show Live with Levi Walker and Candace Donahue. If you like what you see, please share the video. And of course, join our Facebook group, Biz of Show. Can't wait to see you inside.